The Zach Ratliff Show is brought to you by Mortgage Financial and Texarkana, Elmwood Custom Goods, and Church on the Rock Texarkana. That's churchontherock.org.
Get all the latest updates. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to the Zach Ratliff Show. I'm Zach. This is Steve.
I'm Steve. This is Zach.
Hey, that's it. Welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
You know, we're switching it up. Instead of a Friday, we're doing it on a Monday.
Yeah, we're, I guess, late or
We're
early.
I mean, we saw each other at church, and this came up.
Yeah.
because I didn't figure we'd have a meeting to plan it on Thursday night this
Right.
week.
Here we are.
So, anyway, we made it. Thank all of you for being with us. Thank God for another day in the greatest country in the world.
Right? We got so much to be thankful for.
We really do. No matter what faults we have a way of correcting it as long as we follow our Constitution.
It's true. And if I've debated people who think we need to change it up a lot to make things work. And there was one time we started a debate, and I was talking about the guy because I knew him. He's a activist, been to Austin a lot on his own dime, just to push things through he wants to see. And I was talking about how cool he was, what a great job he did with things like that. And I said, I bet he would agree with me that if we would just follow the Constitution, it fixed everything. He goes, "Yep, that's true." And I should have just said, "Well, I'm done."
Right. Yeah.
But we
See?
still have the debate.
No, that's exactly right. Well, let's get into some stuff, some Texas stuff, then we'll go nationwide, then we'll see what JBS has been up to, John Birch Society,
And the Bowie County
and the
Patriots.
Bowie County Patriots, and then
We
Turning
might
Point.
chase a rabbit. We never do that.
Oh, no. Not us. Okay, let's go to.
Should we keep track of how many rabbits we chased? That was one while ago.
Well, we weren't on
And now
air.
it's another one talking about chasing rabbits. It's
Yeah,
a rabbit.
see, just a couple of hound dogs. It's
No, I
not
mean,
much.
just what I just did when I talked about the debate guy.
Okay,
That was a rabbit.
Let's do it. So from TexasTribune.org, the Supreme Court temporarily restores Texas's new congressional map.
Haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
Yesterday, the day before, over the weekend.
Wow. The Supreme Court meets on Saturdays and Sundays?
Well, or it was late Friday, maybe is when I sent
Okay.
myself this.
I hadn't heard
November
that.
21st at 7:22 p.m. So 23rd. Yeah, Friday at 7:22 is when this was written.
Okay. I was talking to people yesterday in Dallas at a meeting, and they didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. So what
I
it
wish
looks
I'd
like,
known, because that would sound smarter than I
yeah,
was.
that's right. It was one of the justices took it up and stayed the order as Alito. Alito requested that the plaintiffs respond to the motion by the end of the day, December 8th. So he's like, no, we're not enjoining this. We'll hear it. Here's how long you have to get your stuff. But that's good for us.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So so like
that means they're going to hear it.
Yeah, I've got a buddy running for Colin Allred's district. Last time he won the primary, but he lost because it's a red district. It's a heavily Democrat district. Well, part of that redrawing makes the district. It goes way into East Texas, like all the way over to Gilmer, I think.
Okay.
And which changes up the demographics. And now that it's changed up, my friend who was the only one in the race 2 years ago, now there's like 5 others. But 2 or 3 of them haven't even voted in Republican primaries before, so we don't know who they are.
Right. Well, of course they hadn't.
Yeah.
It's like we should close the primaries or something.
You should. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be different.
Probably, right? Anyway, but it's neat to see this. If they allow the court, if the Supreme Court doesn't find on the side of Texas, then it pretty much does away with what we were going to do with the redistricting.
Yeah. And gerrymandering, named after a guy named Jerry Mander.
Yeah.
He first did it, and like draw crazy looking districts to make sure that your guy wins.
Right.
And we're actually doing the opposite of that, because if you look at some of the districts in Texas, all around the country, bizarre looking.
Yeah.
Like there's one in, I think it's Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi, there's this little, well-defined district, and another one goes all the way around it.
Right.
It starts on the west side of town at the coast and goes out north of it, east of it, and hits the coast again.
Well, even
That's
if you
a
look at
weird
some
way
of
to
the
draw a
Bowie
district.
County Republican precincts, they're kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, some of them are.
I mean, I don't necessarily know that it's gerrymandering, but they did it for some reason.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've got to make the same number of people in each district as close, or precinct, whatever, as close as they can. But still, there is that issue. Excuse me.
Oh, yeah.
Where was I going with that? I bet it was good. No districts, gerrymandering. Oh well, there's a first for the show.
let's
Hurrah!
let's stick with Texas. Let's jump over to CNN. It says defiant GOP congressman reject party push by party bosses to drop out. Now, I'm gonna rap.
You know, you jump a little bit and then you drop.
Then you drop, yeah.
I'll see that on Wally Coyote.
To drop out of the Texas primary, uh, scrambling race for Senate. Anyway, Wesley Hunt. I can't read. Apparently, this is why we do it on Fridays, not Mondays. Wesley Hunt is in the primary or is running to primary John Cornyn, as is Ken Paxton,
The Attorney General.
the Attorney General, and there's a lot of pressure being put on Wesley Hunt to drop out. While I think Wesley Hunt is not a bad choice,
He was not pro Trump way back when Trump was running.
right?
But honestly, a lot of people weren't pro Trump when
I don't
Trump
need you to
was
be
running.
pro Trump as long as you're pro Constitution.
Yeah. And looked at our national elected officials have very little to do with the Constitution. You know, if you insist on somebody's going to follow it, there's nobody to vote for.
Right. Yeah.
And I wasn't a big fan of Trump at first. Scott Adams, the cartoonist, is one of the reasons that I started
Oh,
really
really?
taking him seriously. Yeah, he was talking about his hypnotic language pattern. Apparently, Scott Adams is a trained hypnotist,
Okay.
and so he was talking about that, how the way he would talk, so I started looking at that and just a few other things, and I realized that he was a little bit different.
Yeah.
I mean, in a lot of ways, but that he maybe could be
Well,
not a savior at all, but that he could switch things up.
and he definitely has. Even you know, there are things about this second administration that hadn't come, but as we're seeing it unfold, there's a plan coming together.
I have no idea, and sometimes what it is, because sometimes it looks like,
Yeah,
ah,
and
and sometimes
I think that's by design. A lot of
think,
it.
yeah, I do too. There's so many things that he's come out and said that are just ridiculous,
Right.
or that the administration has put out there. It can't be um, the Epstein thing. Either that was horribly, horribly mangled and fumbled and mismanaged and everything else, or there's some still a plan out there. Because right now, the left is rabidly saying that Trump was on the Epstein planes, that Trump is a pedophile.
Right.
Um,
And there's no evidence to that we've seen.
right. Um,
But now that they've voted to release it, and now the DOJ is putting pressure to release it, and Trump signed off on the release, I think there's going to be some people that get hung on this.
yeah.
That because look,
And hung might be the right way to say it.
yeah,
That might be because we don't, pedophilia is not a hanging offense in the United States, I don't
correct, it
think.
should
Maybe
be.
some places, maybe Utah or something. That'd be cool. But it should be. I
Yeah,
think some of that stuff should be a death penalty.
yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, the crime's so heinous that you can't continue to exist.
Right.
And that's a hard thing to say, but sometimes it's real. But yeah, it's
Well,
if that's a plan, because right now the left is rabid, like I said earlier,
they're
about releasing the files,
but they're
and they
backtracking
can't
now that
argue.
they've and so we're going to see the release come, we believe. And but if the left,
Those of you listening, I just shrug my shoulders. I don't know.
yeah, um, if I truly believe if the left had something over the last 10 years, it would have been leaked.
Yeah, I really think that if they threw everything they had at Trump first time around.
Right, including 2 assassins.
Yeah. If I think if Trump, if there was, I think they would be willing to lose huge number of themselves, or their own operatives, their own people, rather not operatives, their own people they had placed in high positions. I think they'd be willing to lose a lot of theirs if they could have stopped Trump.
Yeah,
Which would mean, what I'm saying is that if they release stuff about Trump,
the political fallout.
there's other people that would be implicated as well, probably.
Well,
If they had the tapes, they'd have released the tape.
Yeah, that's where I am. Anyway, so that's number 3, I guess. So we're gonna give so this Wesley Hunt deal in the primary. How do we see this unfolding? Now you're trying to get him to come to Patriots.
I have. I've reached out to him, and we might be a little too small of a venue for him. I'm not sure.
Right.
I mean, if they want to come someplace where they can reach a decent sized group, then and we regularly pull people from Cass County, Red River County, sometimes. Well, I'm not sure about Lamar County. Occasionally,
Miller
Morris
County.
County, yeah, Miller County. So of course, Miller County is probably not going to vote in the Texas primaries, but
Usually not.
usually not. We don't know that for sure. Actually, Actually, there's rumors they have. The people with Arkansas plates have pulled up to vote in primaries. So yeah, he doesn't know that, but Arkansas might help him.
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, he's um. We started off by saying he wasn't for Trump at first, and I don't think that's a disqualifying thing to say
no,
because not everybody. I mean, if somebody was like instantly for Trump, um, that's suspect because
right.
I mean he
Well,
came down this golden escalator. It was almost a cartoon.
right. Well, speaking of that, let's chase this one too. Have you heard why he wants everything in gold at the White House? Have you read this story?
I saw something about it. What did it
Yeah.
say?
So it was gold is respected around the world,
Yeah.
and you need to look like you're running the world. So and his point was every palace he goes into, everyone it's gold, everything, because they're showing. He goes, "We're the strongest, richest country in the world. When these people come, and that's what they recognize as power. That's what they need to see."
And I've heard stories that the White House, there's lots of it that it's a little shoddy.
Yeah.
That it's not in disrepair. It's just like worn carpets
What's an
and
old
things like that.
building?
It is. They renovate it fairly often though. Like
Right.
the press area used to be a swimming pool.
Right.
They covered it up. But I've heard stories about that frayed carpet, stained carpet, drapes that look
Right.
weird. They don't hang
Well,
right.
last administration, they were leaving cocaine laying around.
And that's not something you usually see in the White House,
No, or anywhere else that I know of
right?
that
Most
that
people,
I frequent.
yeah, the people that they were saying that they're going to put drugs in your candy at Halloween. The people were giving away cocaine.
Maybe
It's
Well,
a it
actually,
depends on the party, I suppose.
had this conversation at one point with an ex FBI agent, and they said when they worked drugs in Dallas, that what the drug dealers would do with black tar heroin was they would take there was a capsule that they would have with like some sort of antidepressant, or not an antidepressant, anti-congestion or something like that. They would dump most of the stuff out of it, and they put the heroin in the capsule, and they put a little bit of that because it would offset some of the, I guess, nauseation effects of it. But anyway, then they would go to the parties with the teenagers, um, in the Plano area, and they would pass it out for free to get people hooked on heroin, and then they would come to them and sell them. So the cartels would work these, high school parties. This is probably, late '90s in Plano, give truly giving out free heroin, and then that way they were
I
hooked.
don't know how to take heroin. I thought you had to
Well,
inject it.
apparently you can ingest or inject it from
Well,
this
why would
FBI
people
agent.
inject it if they could just swallow it?
Well, apparently there's a better response if you
Better
just,
delivery system.
yeah, better delivery
Yeah.
system.
Okay. Not Halloween. Not little kids on the block.
Well, no, I mean, that's close
I
though.
don't know.
They're
Yeah.
Halloween parties.
Yeah. That's a rabbit. Where did we get that from? Where did we start?
Yeah.
Are you paying
Well,
attention? Where did we start that from?
we're at
Oh,
Western
drugs in the White House.
drugs in the
So
White
one of
House.
the things I read on that article, one thing I said was gold paint
Yeah.
is a horrible substitute for gold itself. And it looked like what I could see in the picture that all the little trim and filigrees,
Real
whatever,
gold.
around the doors now it's gold.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, I mean, it did look really sharp.
I mean, it looks good, and also that's why with this whole East Wing thing, everybody acts like it's the end of the world that he's torn down the East Wing.
Yeah,
Um, when we have foreign dignitaries currently, they have them in tents on the White House lawn,
yeah,
and
yeah.
so
That part's
now it's like,
weird.
oh, we'll have a room that can seat enough people. So some of this just makes sense, and Trump just doesn't. He is unbothered by what people say about him, at
Yeah,
least publicly.
he's not really tearing down the East Wing. He tore off I think a portico or something to
Right.
put the building up. And I've heard stories about stuff like that, events on the White House lawn that you see it, you see everybody sitting there and it looks cool, and you see the chairs lined up ahead of time and it looks cool. But the people that go ahead and sit in the chairs, they're like sinking into the ground.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
good.
we've all sat in a lawn chair in the yard. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
it's
And so it is something that I guess it's necessary.
yeah. I'm
Or maybe that's why the price of gold is going up because he's just putting it everywhere in the White House.
maybe so. All right, in North Carolina, this is from Raw's Alert on X.com.
That
There,
sounds trustworthy.
we get some good stuff from them. Multiple people are shot at a North Carolina Christmas tree lighting ceremony yesterday. And then it goes on, kind of buries the lead, goes on talking about it. Oh, jump straight to X on me. But what had happened is the religion of peace has struck again. And
If you deny that they're the religion of peace, they will kill you.
yeah, well, exactly right. And so they're only peaceful if you're part of them.
Yeah.
And anyway, they don't worry though, not terrorists. And that's always the thing. Oh, no, no underlying ties, other than the one main underlying tie is the religion.
Yeah.
You
Are we
know,
going to segue into these religion of peace enclaves here in
yeah, we
Texas
can
or
do
around the
that.
country?
Yeah,
Where were you going with that one? 'Cause that's
well,
horrible.
yeah, well, that's horrible, but it's always the same. Oh, hold on. Let us take a break and we will be right back.
Get all the latest updates. Make sure you like and subscribe.
All right, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyway, what we were getting to was, the religion of peace, and then we how it's comes into
This is the next day, by the way.
yeah, A2 peace talk. No, but it's a crazy deal, and then we're seeing, when you said this earlier, you can have your church, and that's one thing.
Sure. Religion, freedom of religion, worship how you want to. Within reason,
Yeah, yeah,
no child sacrifice.
yeah.
I mean, sorry, Planned Parenthood. Um, and
Call
that's,
for
I think
self.
that's what it
Yeah,
is.
absolutely.
So you can't, you know, their religion allows honor killings. If your daughter's raped, somehow that shames the family and you get to kill her. No, you can't do that in Texas. You can't do that in the
Right.
United States. But I mean, that's the thing. Practice your religion. I mean, almost everybody in the world that we know of has church on Saturday and Sunday. But if you want to do yours on Friday, go for it.
Right. But
That's the deal. That's the case. But it's the other part. Like
the
if we catch
government
a
part,
thief, we're going to cut his hand off.
right?
Or
And
it's
no, you can't do that.
yeah. So insisting on your own legal system as well,
Which is
it's
Sharia.
unconstitutional
Yeah.
because the Constitution says the federal government ensures, or that might not be the right word, um, a Republican form of government. That doesn't mean an
Right.
R after your name. That means a nation of laws,
Yes.
where the law is preeminent. So, so you can't have a nation where the law is preeminent and then say, "Oh, we're going to have our own laws over here."
Well, and Greg Abbott just came out last week and said, "Oh, turns out there are two Sharia courts operating in the state of Texas,
Yeah,
and
and
that's a problem."
I'm not going to look it up. The We could go over the amendments. Never mind. I had that paddle.
Oh,
The I saw something recently that the state of Texas has given boatloads of money to
oh,
various
I read
Islamic
that this morning, like
organizations. And if
tens of millions of dollars.
yeah, so if they don't separate when they're in a minority, they say we're just a religion. Within the majority, they say our way or the highway.
Well,
If that's it.
look at
So
Dearborn, Michigan, right now. They're
yeah,
they're stopping and praying in the streets because they know no one's going to question them and make them move.
right. They don't do that in Islamic countries. They don't go out
Mm,
and block the streets during prayer time.
no.
They do it in places where they want to take over, and part of it is some of it's humiliation. I mean, that's a lot of what goes on with our government lying to us openly, uh, right in front of us, blatantly. Is the more that we accept the lies, and "Oh, okay, the better things are for them. So if you say a man, if you declare that a man can't have a baby,
Oh yeah,
and they
shame,
come
shame,
after
shame.
you and try to get you fired, try to get you taken out of your bank, try to ruin your life for something that everybody knows isn't true.
Well, that's the problem that I always go back to. The farther we get from God, the
Hmm.
one true God, uh, as held in the Christian faith, the worse it gets.
Yeah,
The easier it is to accept the lie, the easier it
and
is
they're
to be manipulated.
they're starting to accept, they're starting to realize that all this multicultural stuff, well, it makes us stronger. Actually, it
No,
doesn't, and that has nothing to do with race. That has to do with the culture. So if you look at it, it leads to instability
yeah,
because if you say that there's six different standards for what a man is,
hmm
that does not lead to stability. If you say there's four different viewpoints on what constitutes murder, that doesn't lead to
Right.
stability.
No,
Um,
that's one thing I said during the Biden administration, and I hold to it, is weakness creates chaos, and chaos creates disorder.
and disorder is the recipe. It's a precursor for dictatorship.
That's exactly right.
Someone's got to do something,
Oh
and
yeah,
you get a
we can't
and
control. We just need somebody to come and tell us all what to do.
yeah, Mussolini made the trains run on time. That's one of the things they said
Right.
about it. At least the trains run on time. So he just took over made decisions about everything, and that doesn't work.
No.
That's why capitalism is better than socialism. Now, there's places, I mean, Germany, I read about this, I think it was last year, that you can't, so like the cold snaps are over and
Mhm.
you want to sell all your winter clothes, put them on sale so you can start selling spring clothes or summer clothes.
Right.
Well, there's literally a law that says when you can mark down mittens. Um,
Oh really?
yeah. So if that's the case, then the government is decreeing how much something is. Um, some of that stuff, I mean, sometimes it sounds good. We're not going to have any price gouging. If I buy a generator, if I buy 5 generators and put them on my trailer and bring them to your area where there's been a hurricane, I can't mark them up any further than what Home Depot sells them for. And
Right.
that's not realistic
Yeah.
because I bought them from Home Depot.
Right. Yeah.
And so
Home
if
Depot.
I want to come down there and basically give you my time and expenses for coming
Right.
down there, that's me if I want to.
Yeah.
But if I want to go down there and say, look, this generator is $600 with gas and everything divided among all of them, it needs to be 720.
Right.
And you could get arrested in some places because
Isn't that crazy?
that's a little bit of socialism.
Yeah.
If somebody's just price gouging them, this my generators are $5,000. My $600 generators are $5,000. Maybe somebody will buy them from you.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens. Somebody wants
And
one really
maybe
bad.
and maybe somebody won't. Nobody has to buy them from you, and because you were able to, yeah, that's the free market. That's the way the market works. And look what you're going to see.
Man, that was a rabbit.
Yeah, I know for
That was
sure.
this supposed to be Islam. We're still talking about that.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, and so, but to your socialism point was where I was going, and to tie it back into Islam, Zoran Mandami just met with Trump in the White House over the weekend. Did you
Wow.
see that?
No, I did not see that.
Yeah,
Have I
and
mentioned that I've been on the road 1,700 miles this week for the
yeah,
job?
you did. So
Yeah.
that
I
makes
don't
I
think
don't
I
know if
said
you
it
did
on
on
the air.
camera. Yeah.
Yeah, I won't. So I'm trying to prime everybody for my excuses as to why I don't know nothing today.
So they went and met, and one of the reporters was like, "What they asked me, Dammy? They're like, do you still think Trump is a can't remember the word for it, basically dictator or whatever?"
Yeah.
And before he could answer, Trump goes, "Just say yes. It's okay. I've been called worse. It wasn't dictator, but it was
Yeah.
something along that vein." And and
You know
Trump,
what's a dictator? Somebody that says, you, you, highly educated physician, give your services away.
oh, do they do that?
Or someone that says, this stuff over here in this store, it's priced too high, mark it down. Or this stuff over here in the store, give it away.
Right.
That's a dictator. Now, he doesn't go to the store and say, give it away. He says that the government's going to pay for it, but someone's paying, their money is going towards
Right.
that. And if you require a doctor to work for free, that's slavery, right? So socialism requires a dictator.
Fascist.
Fascism.
He was
Yeah.
asking, do you still think that he's a fascist?
Ah, okay.
And Trump's like, I've been called worse. Trump just look. I have long said I'm a fan of Trump's personality because it's a winning personality, and
Yeah.
I believe that oftentimes Republicans take on the mantle of losers, and a lot of them are losers, and a lot of them that on top of that are cowards and afraid to win. That's a whole nother
Yeah.
rabbit hole. But Trump's like, yeah, you can call me that, and just treated him with grace because at some point the shoe's going to drop and be like, hey,
Yeah.
you didn't say it to my face. Y- You know,
Yeah. And the fascism thing, I mean, communism, socialism requires fascism.
yeah,
It requires someone being in charge,
absolutely,
and making you conform. And so if you say, you can't mark down mittens for another month, in another month, nobody's going to want mittens at all.
right,
Or maybe you need to sell mittens so you can put that money towards buying, summertime clothing
right,
as a merchant. So just declaring, whether you can sell something or not, or what price you can sell something at, that's fascism.
yeah,
Um, Yeah, and the thing is, here's the thing. We can have, if you were a huge fan of socialism, and you think that you are the wave of the future, that socialism, even communism, is the perfect way to go out and find a couple hundred people and do it.
Right.
Things like that, where a top-down dictatorship, and from each according to his ability, to each according to his need, that's a family.
Right.
That's what that is. That's
Yes.
a family. And that could be an extended family, but, at some point, grandpa's not telling grandkids what to do. Dad's not telling grandma what to do. There's there's eh, but that ethos is perfect for a family.
Right.
But there's a reason that that stuff just doesn't
Well, it's
succeed. Thanksgiving is a perfect time for it to talk about this, because there are parts of the United States where they did that. They bring everybody in and they go, everybody gets a share. And the guy that works really hard doesn't get a bigger share than the guy who didn't.
and
And
so then that guy's not going to work as hard.
right, the guy that was working really hard doesn't work as hard. Now there's less there. I mean, if only 20% of the people are super productive, the rest can live off of it
Well,
for a
but
little bit
I
until
would
those people decide, I don't want to be super productive anymore.
I would think most people listening to this or watching this could say, "Oh, there's somebody in their office or their job space or whatever that they know is a slacker, and that person
Right.
gets on their nerves." And if there's not, you might be that person. But that they know that that's there. Well,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just exaggerated
Well,
when
anybody that's
when
ever done a
that's
group project at school.
oh, my daughter's in 4th grade, hates group projects. She's like, "Some of the kids don't do anything." I'm
Right.
like, "That's just the way it is. That's what your government will give you."
Yeah.
Just that's the world.
Yeah. I was paired with um, a fellow student when I was at college, Texas A&M, Texarkana, and we had a pretty big project. And my dad got really sick during that time,
Uh-huh.
and I didn't contribute nothing,
Right.
and she did all the work.
Oh, wow.
I mean, 90% of the work,
Yeah.
and got us a good grade.
Right.
And then it came around, I don't know, a year or so later, she volunteered for a project and said, "This is," and it came to me. She said, "Oh, and I want to bring Steve Oglesby in on it."
Uh-huh.
And the project was, it was exactly the opposite. She just knew that
You
we
would
could do it. That it would, but it was almost all me.
and
Um,
that's okay.
it was fun with me because she got me a really good grade once, and I got her a really good grade. It was actually towards her master's degree.
Oh,
So I've
awesome.
got one credit towards a master's degree that I'm never going to use.
Right,
But
but you got it.
yeah, I had to pay for the class and everything else. But she carried me, I carried her. That's a nice way to do things. But if you're in a class and you slack off. Yeah. Anybody that's ever done a group project knows
Yeah.
that dynamic.
Yeah, that's exactly. Well, and so then tying this all back to fascism and then Mandami, he is a communist
Yeah, yeah.
and an Islamist. And those two things don't jive either.
They don't. Because I don't think Islam has the thing where from each according to his ability, to each according to his need,
No,
does it?
Islam is top down.
Everybody
It is.
works.
It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Now,
Yeah.
charity is a big part of the five pillars of Islam,
Right.
and that's the part that's the front facing stuff for Islam. And we're nice people. We take care of each
Right.
other. We're generous, hospitality, all that kind of stuff. But charity is a big part of it.
Right.
And charity, if it's mandatory, isn't charity.
No, but that's like
So Islam and I don't see how Islam and communism fit together,
they
except they
don't.
both fit under the umbrella of totalitarianism, one world government. And I've said this for a while. John Birch Society was formed to fight communism,
Yeah.
and they realized after a little bit of time that it's not communism that's the issue; it's the people pulling the strings for communism. It's the people that want
It's the pigs
to
that
be
live in
in
the
charge.
house.
It's the people who want to rule, think they should rule, and they're using communism as a way to make that happen.
Yeah.
And Islam is another way to ensure to set up one world government.
Which we know is coming.
Honestly, I don't think Islam could make it if we didn't keep propping it up. We did that with China, by the way.
Right.
China was a third world country until Nixon said, "Hey, let's pretend they're cool."
Yeah. And now look.
Yeah, and so they're blatantly, they say, at war with us.
Well, and I'm just before I say this, I'm not calling for a second round of Christian crusades or another round. However, this is the way it happened. The uh, Muslims for 400 years
Hmm.
took over from the Holy Land all the way into Europe
as much as they could.
as much as they could, raping, killing, and stealing.
Yeah.
And at some point, the Christian kings got together and like, hey, we're going to lose everything if we don't mount an offensive
Yeah.
and go and reclaim the Holy Land. And now, I had this conversation yesterday too with somebody. They're like, yeah, the problem was that they just went through and said, well, the Jews kind of look like them too, so they just hammered them too, which did happen.
It is.
And,
That's what the phrase, kill them all, let God sort them out.
yeah, and
Kill them all, the Lord knows his own. That was the phrase at the time.
right. And so while
I
that's
don't agree
true,
with that, by the
no,
way.
no, absolutely not. But this is what brought that on. So we're seeing that. We're seeing it across Europe now. Look, in the early 2000s, it was said inside the Bush administration that London was already called Londonistan.
Yeah.
And now you see it on
And
the
it's
news.
worse.
Yeah, and now it's worse. And then they say there's no-go zones in Paris, and it's just taking. And now it's coming to
Yeah.
get Dearborn, Michigan, like we talked about. And you've got 48 new mosques in Texas in the last year, 24 months.
Recently.
And then including one right down the road here. And here's my deal. I was also talking to someone who we have a family friend that's a Muslim.
Mhm.
And I'm like, well, what's the crackdown on this? And they're like, oh, he ain't worried about it because he's American. He's
Yeah.
American, and that's his. Yes, that's what he comes from, but he's American, and
Yeah.
and he's not. And because I know this guy, he's a great guy, and so he's not. I think you would consider him radical because he doesn't do what the Middle Easterns do, but he's not radical in the sense of
Yeah.
bad, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
So, yeah, when I lived in Dallas, man, back in the late 80s, early 90s, I had several acquaintances, a couple of friends that were Arabic.
Yeah,
And that's back then, that was kind of the thing, that they were of Arabic descent.
right,
That's how you would refer to it.
right.
And Iraq, Iran, I think Kuwait, I'm not sure. Can't remember now, but I know Iraq and Iran, there was both. Um, and they were friendly guys. I had one, I brought a date to his restaurant, and he was like over the top hospitality when he
Oh,
saw me with
really?
her. Yeah. He wouldn't take payment. He acted like he was insulted when I asked for the check. I mean, the way he treated us, she's like, "Did you save his life? What's going on here?"
That's just the way it is when you're with me, lady.
And I mean, it was fun, and it was Arab hospitality brought to
Yes.
Texas, and it fit well. He had a very thriving business.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to say is we're not against Arabs. We're against the Sharia law part of it.
Yeah, and I mean, look at Volkswagen. They've got vehicles, the Tiguan, the Scirocco. That was an older one. They've got 2 or 3 vehicles that are named after um, things in the Arab world.
Right.
Um, so, I mean, what was it? Secondhand Lions?
Yeah.
The guy that showed up at the very end, he's
Yeah.
Arab.
Right.
Man, this is, maybe we should do this on Mondays instead, because this is like,
Fresh off the cuff.
yeah, rabbit herding. Um,
Well, anyway, that's I just wanted to bring awareness to what's going on in Texas.
and there
What's
is
going on?
no solution right now. The
No.
state government, like we talked about, is giving tens of $1 millions to um, to Muslim organizations,
Right.
and then come out and say that
Including
we're
CAIR,
against what they're
which is a
doing.
problem.
Council on Arab Islamic
Arab
Relations.
Islamic Relations,
Yeah.
which
So
funds the Muslim Brotherhood in
yeah,
part.
and supposedly they're going to declare the Muslim Brotherhood a terrorist organization at the same time that one hand is saying, "I don't like you," and slapping you, the other hand is giving you,
But on the same account, we've been
money
paying
and
the
chocolate.
Taliban how much a month since we've been in Afghanistan? Like $5 million a month or something. We've been funding to the Taliban while we were at war with them to pay for um, their their headquarters outside of the war zone and all that. So this is common for our
Our
government.
government does really, really stupid things with our money.
Yeah,
Um,
that they
the
steal
John
from us.
Birch Society
Yeah.
was named after, I think, a Baptist missionary named John Birch.
Ah,
When Robert Welch started the organization, um, he found out about John Birch and named it this organization after him. John Birch was a missionary in China, was there before World War II started. He spoke the language fluently, and the way his features were in his face, you might assume he was Chinese.
right.
He found some shot down pilots and returned them to General Claire Chennault, and and he wanted to sign up. They let him sign up, and he wanted to become a pilot. And I go, we have a better plan for you. And so he went all over China. We would go to these little villages and give them a two-way radio and
Right.
give them a chart that showed all the different Japanese type of airplane. And they would radio in and say, this is village number whatever. And we see 17 of these planes flying towards the south.
Right.
And they could look at a map and say, and they could warn people ahead of time.
Yeah.
And it was hugely successful in that sphere.
Yeah.
It worked well, is a better way to say it. And so he got promoted to the rank of captain over the course of the war.
Mhm.
He noticed, though, our government, as the war was winding down, our government was funding the communist Chinese
Right.
and depriving help from Chiang Kai-shek, who
Right.
wanted to start a Christian republic.
Yeah.
And we had been friendly with China up to this point,
Right.
and Chiang Kai-shek got forced out. That's how he wound up in Taiwan. Uh, and our government was already talking about the agrarian reformers, these farmers that just want to do things better. The government was already talking about that. It was already in the news. And so, not long at all after the war was over, days, a week or two after the war was over, John Birch was traveling in a train with a Chinese national. He was traveling with him, pulled him off the train. They beat him and bayoneted him to death. They say it was unrecognizable. And his death was covered up for years
Mhm.
because you can't have it out there that these agrarian reformers
Right.
had just brutally murdered an American serviceman. So they covered it up.
The same thing
And
happens
and
now
every
with Gaza, right?
every
Oh,
place our government has been
Yeah.
since then, we've never left things better off.
No.
If you're a country and John McCain came to your country to visit, you need to pack up everything and get out because
Horrible.
every place he showed up, it got taken over later. Obama was
Also,
blatant.
thanks John McCain for Obamacare.
Yeah, Obama was blatant about it. The Muslim, all the stuff that went on in what was it, the Arab Spring,
Yeah.
and Egypt. Egypt, no one speaks the Egyptian language.
Nope.
There is no Egyptian language because when Muslims took it over, back in the 800s, I think, whenever Muslims took over,
They killed all the Christians.
well, they did, and they cut the tongues out of everybody. So
Yeah.
no one's speaking Egyptian. It's
Right.
all the Muslim languages, whatever what is in Egypt. Um, And so it was still kind of a free country.
Right.
It's much less so now.
Right.
Every place our country has gone, we've done this crap where it's worse than it was before. So yeah, it makes total sense from that perspective of, hey, let's give these guys $5 million a month, and also over here we're giving them $5 million a month. Over here we're shooting at them.
Right.
How
Yeah.
many terrorists were created by Obama just bombing the crap out of whoever he wanted to? Send a drone strike in. Here's a wedding. Oh, blow that up. That'll get us some more terrorists.
Right.
I mean, what would you do if someone
Yeah, you would
if you were at
hate
a
them.
wedding and yeah, you'd want to do something about it too. I'm not saying that all of it is justified, but yeah,
Our foreign policy has just been a problem for a long
a
time.
long, long time.
For
Yeah.
a long time. Yeah. I'm with you. All right, we're gonna move on. But I'm with you. JD Vance
Let's talk
on
about puppies.
yeah, right. JD Vance on X.com. Um, if the president hadn't issued illegal orders, then members if the president hasn't issued illegal orders, then members of Congress telling the military to defy the president is by definition illegal. So you saw? Did you see that these?
That's been going on for a while.
Yeah. So
So when was this? Again,
in the last week,
I'm clueless. I think
so
about current
5
events. It
Democrats,
seems like.
including Mark Kelly, came out saying, "Hey, you need if there's any illegal orders, you need to disobey the president." And so they're trying to create chaos, which is a tool of the devil,
Yeah.
in our military, so that they won't answer when the president wants to by just making up hypothetical.
Well, they were doing that earlier. It wasn't even if the president gives an illegal order. They were just saying, look, just don't listen, just disobey.
Yeah,
ICE agents, the
yeah. So it's pretty much what they're still doing.
the National Guard that they were sending into cities to
Yeah.
make things better.
And so now they're saying it to the military as a whole. And so now Trump has come out. Wait, hold on. I think I've got it. Let's see. It will come back. Basically, I've got something on stoning too. When we were talking about stoning people earlier. Here's what Donald Trump said. The traitors that told the military to disobey my orders should be in jail right now, not roaming the fake news networks trying to explain that what they said was okay. It wasn't and never will be. It was sedition at the highest level, and sedition is a major crime. There can be no other interpretation of what they said.
But is anything going to happen? I agree with that. I mean, I don't know what they've said. If they actually said something seditious, yeah, if they actually said, listen, military, just sit down, just
Right.
sit it out.
Yeah.
That's
It's a problem.
sedition, treason.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that it's treason.
Not good.
Yeah, no, but sedition.
But does anything ever happen when? I mean,
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm waiting for our Department of Justice. And I understand they have to build a case, and I understand that there's a few things I'm waiting on. We're seeing some indictments come down. Let's see if it goes past that on it.
yeah,
Like, because I feel like part of what they're doing is with the indictments is that it's breadcrumb. Here's a little for you.
yeah,
Here's a little
and
for you.
they're building the case in the public,
Yeah,
in
that's
the public
true.
eye. So if that's that I mean that hopefully that's what's going on
Yeah.
because I mean there are a lot of patriots out there that liked how Trump did things first term,
Hmm.
even with all the opposition he had, and thought it was going to be amazing. Now, first few days it was, but there's been so much stuff that's just plodding along, and
Right.
that's what we were told the first term. Well, you can't just like arrest people off the top of your head. You got to build a case. You got to this. So maybe that's what's going on.
Well, and I think
It's frustrating to watch.
right. I think it's just a slow burn right now. Then this came down today at 8:11. I sent this to myself from Eric Doherty. Breaking in a massive development, President Trump is expected to announce the Health Care Price Cuts Act as soon as tomorrow to fix broken Obamacare subsidies. Um, he says he has officially cornered the Democrats on Obamacare. What we're going to see is the Democrats basically come out and defend big rich insurance and not the American people with this. And so it's going to
Yeah.
be once again Donald Trump has a way of making the Democrats defend the 20 and not the 80, and it's going to this could work out well for us. So I'm interested to see that. Here's what I wanted to say when we were talking about the religion of peace earlier. This is from Culture War Report on X.com. Um, and okay, good, it stopped. It's actually a woman being stoned, um, which I'd never seen that until this video. But it says Islamic imam in Birmingham, UK, explains how women who violate Sharia, which is what there's two Sharia courts in Texas, um, should be stoned to death. He says to dig a hole in the ground and bury her up to her waist so she can't escape. Then you stone her till she dies. That's what they're calling for, and that's what this video was of. The top video was of him saying it, and the bottom of video of it, and at first I didn't realize what it was a woman buried up to her waist and a group of men standing around her with rocks, size of uh,
Volleyball.
volleyballs or smaller. Yeah, not as small as a tennis ball, about the size of a volleyball. Um, grapefruits,
Hello.
cantaloupe, yeah, cantaloupe size stones, killing this woman with. And that's what their Sharia law is calling for. And that's what's
Was
in.
that in England where that happened, or is it just?
I think it was just an example here. How
Yeah.
I don't know, and but you can
So
you can see like that's her buried in the hole.
yeah,
I mean that's horrible.
it is.
Um,
So if are they saying that this applies to Muslim women or all women?
well, once they become a majority in any town, they want that just like in Dearborn, Michigan, they play the call to prayer over the town speakers now. It'd be the same as playing it over our tornado warning that you hear
Yeah.
tested every Wednesday at noon. They play it no matter what. You hear it 5 times a day in an American city. And that's what if we said, hey, you know what? Every Wednesday after the tornado sirens get tested at noon,
We're going to play a prayer.
yeah, we're gonna play a prayer.
We're
Then
going
we're
to
gonna
recite the
play
Lord's Prayer.
yeah, we're gonna do the Lord's Prayer. Then we're gonna play Leanne Rhymes' version of Amazing Grace. People would set the town on
And I'm
fire.
proud to be American by Lee Greenwood.
Yeah, right. And then 3 solid minutes of Jeff Foxworthy jokes, but they wouldn't allow us to do this. This is from Culture War Report again. It says Texas now has 2 active Sharia law courts operating, and the growth of new mosques. Oh yeah, this is the same thing. 24 months has been the 48 mosques, And one Sharia court last year handled 200 cases inside of Texas.
Now, if all that was legal disputes, like this is my land, no, it's my land,
Right.
or you didn't fulfill your contract, then that's just arbitration.
Right.
So if you live, and that's one of the things they want to do is they build these little enclaves. They call it Epic City, East Plano
They changed the
Islamic
name of it
Center.
now
It's
to
the Meadows because that's
yeah,
really what it's all about.
yeah. Peace,
But the
love,
mayor of
stoning
Plano
each other.
has just had played kissy kissy with the Muslim
Right.
leaders for
Because you don't
quite a
want to be
while,
offensive.
right? But then they take I don't want to be offensive to I'm just gonna prefer you over everyone.
Yes.
Um, and so you arbitration's fine. There's contracts with that. If this
Yeah.
goes to if there's a major dispute, we're gonna rely on arbitration first before we take it to a court, and that's fine. If you say anybody that lives in this homeowners association, we're not going to take things to the police. We're going to arbitrate it ourselves, or we're not going to call in the
Right.
city. But if there's theft, that's
Right.
that's outside the realm of that. So, but it's all this stuff is a stepping stone. And so, and here's another weird thing. There's a meme category called liberal white women,
Yeah.
how they're causing the problem.
They are
Um,
the issue.
yeah. And so why? I mean, liberal white women. I'd rather meet a bear in the woods than a man. Uh,
Having you're
I mean, maybe you've had a really bad run of luck with men,
I have
but I
met
think
bear in the woods. Side note,
yeah,
like in real life,
yeah.
multiple times. Let me tell you what you don't want to do:
I
meet a
do.
bear in the woods.
Typically pretty smelly in the wild.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One time we were in Colorado on our horses elk hunting, and one came walking down the trail, and we had bows. We didn't have any firearm, so we just put our horses together, and he just kind of walked by us, and everything worked out well, obviously,
Yeah.
but it's still
You weren't
talk,
killed.
talk about not that I know of. Could be a sixth sense situation. But got your heart rate up, and then another time I was on a golf cart at a cabin up in Arkansas and was going to take a trail and to a shortcut and drove up on a bear and her cub,
Oh,
and that was probably within 20 yards of her. That other bear was within 20 yards when he walked by. And then a third time at a cabin in Arkansas, I was checking deer feeders in my truck. There was a bear eating out of one, and I had a four-door truck, and it stood up, sized up the truck. These are black bears; they're not the biggest bears in the world. But when it looks at a truck and it's not scared and it sits down and keeps eating, Anyway, but back
why
to
does
liberal.
why does he have that level of
Yeah,
confidence?
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, back. Yeah, that's exactly right.
White women, liberal white women, apparently think Islam is just cool. And
Have they never seen the Sally Fields movie? Do you remember that movie from the 80s where she marries the guy and he takes her to Saudi Arabia or whatever
no,
and just I think it was Sally
I bet that
Fields.
didn't turn out well.
And yeah, it just beats the hell out of her.
Yeah.
It might
Yeah.
not have been Sally Fields.
And the thing
I'll
is,
be
the
looking.
rights that liberal white women insist on are some of the ones that are most antithetical to Islam.
Right.
And then you see others. You see people marching in the streets, LGBTQ for Islam. That's dumb because in Islam countries, they throw gay people off the top of buildings.
Yeah. Yeah. Like and are okay with it.
Yeah, and so why would you root for a system that does that? There's a guy that lives in this area. I finally had to block him on Facebook. One of the very few people I've ever had to block because he was just so beyond toxic. What's the next level beyond toxic?
I don't know.
Overtly poisonous. You could say something like, "I'm going to the store." Well, you know who else went to the store? Hitler went to the store. Things like that. I mean, he did strawman arguments with vitriol,
Right.
Vitriol. If you want to
There
look that
you
up.
go.
But he hated Christians. He said he'd been treated better by Muslims in his life than he had Christians. And I'm guessing that he didn't know very many Muslims, and he didn't have a chance to just be insanely annoying,
Right.
if abrasive, insulting to the few Muslims in his life than he did everybody else.
Because remember what happened when they printed Muhammad's picture in Charlie Hebdo.
Right. We'll kill them all. You can't
Yeah,
print his
yeah,
picture.
right.
So I mean, people that say these things. I mean, this guy was a beyond flaming. He was a cutting torch
Yeah,
level liberal.
yeah,
I mean, a blast furnace level liberal, um, and towed the line on everything. Got talking points way ahead of time. I
yeah.
remember he had all the talking points against ivermectin, or um, hydroxychloroquine.
Hydroxychloroquine.
He had the talking points on that before I saw the articles. So
Right,
he was subscribed to something. But he was just this crazy liberal, and it was beyond anyone's ability to talk to him.
right.
And people kept telling me, block him. He's insane. And I finally did.
Finally did.
That's the kind of guy that's going to say, I want Islam here. That's
Right.
what I
You
want
do
here.
until you don't.
Yeah. What is it? What's the saying? You vote your way in, you shoot your way out.
Yeah.
Communism, socialism. It creates a civil war.
Yeah. Here's the movie. I
Okay.
found it. The movie is called Not Without My Daughter. I went to the Wayback Machine. I don't know why this came into my mind. It's from 1991. Stars Sally Field, or Sally Field. Her Iranian-born husband takes her and their young daughter to Iran for what he claims is a short family visit. Once there, he reveals his true intentions, becomes abusive, holds them captive, and refuses to let them leave the country. Based on the real-life memoir of Betty Mohammadi about her harrowing experience and the eventual escape from Iran in the 1980s. That's who they are.
Yeah. It and maybe the guy that you're going to marry that wants to take you back to his country is not going to do that to you
I don't
yet.
plan
But
on marrying a guy.
well,
I know it's
I
a
think
new
it's
world,
best.
Steve, but
I
not
think
for
it's
me, you
best.
know.
I think it's best.
Okay, this is a big deal. Clarence Thomas is now the fifth longest serving justice in Supreme Court history.
I just saw some clips of him. They were trying to get him to back down, trying to shame him or whatever to get him not to to be a justice. And they said, "Are you at all thinking about? Are you rethinking your willingness to serve?" He goes, "I would rather die than
Thank God for
than
Clarence
not do
Thomas.
this. I'm not going to get run off. I would rather die." And somebody said, "Well, you got this and this and this." And he said, "I would rather die than withdraw my name for consideration." And
Why is it not racist when they say it to him?
that's how the rules are. Liberals say some of the nastiest things about people of other races.
Yeah,
You hear it all the time. Somebody, a black person, an Oriental person. I'd never when I started becoming conservative, I never heard anything derogatory at all. I heard it from my fellow liberals.
right. Yeah,
Michelle Malkin, what was she? I think she was Filipino,
yeah,
Filipina, however you say it. She was a commentator back in the '90s, and she was very, very eloquent, well
yeah,
spoken, knowledgeable. Some people think of the Filipino fireball.
yeah.
I don't know why. I don't know why that's got to be on there. Filipino. Why do we do that with Michelle Malkin? She's awesome. Michelle Malkin. She's Filipino and she's awesome.
Right,
I don't
yeah.
understand that part. But man, the left. Some of the most vile ways to describe
They are
Asian
hate-filled
women.
creatures.
Man, and it's true. And things you say against Christians, against men. You know who it's completely legitimate to discriminate against in this country?
White
And
Christian men.
white Christian men who smoke.
Oh, oh,
Smokers, you
yeah,
can really discriminate against
yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, there's no
I'm with
limits
them
on
on
that one
that.
either. Do what?
I'm with them on that one.
It's
I
it
thought when they did away with smoking sections in restaurants, they should have turned the smoking sections into if you have kids sections. That way I didn't have to hear your kid.
That would be nice. That would be nice. There was a place I used to go to all the time, that had the smoking section was one side of the room and the non-smoking was the other.
No wall, no nothing.
That's like having peeing and not peeing section in a swimming pool.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, did you see this? Marjorie Taylor Greene's retiring in January.
To do what? I wonder.
Exactly right. But she's not, she could leave now,
Could.
but she's going to leave 2 days after she hits the 5-year minimum to have a lifetime of pay and benefit. Also, Marjorie Taylor Greene went from being worth $400,000 to 40 million in 5 years.
Wow.
Um, uh, so
Wait a
she.
minute. Wait a minute. What if we put Congress in charge of 401ks? I don't think we would need
Oh
socialism.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, no. Well, Al Gore was going to put it in a lockbox for you.
Yeah.
Him, and he also invented the internet and New Man Bear Pig. So there, there's that. Donald Trump announces he will pull all U.S. taxpayer dollars from Nigeria due to the genocide of Christians, which is an actual genocide as
Right.
opposed to the made up one. Not that bad stuff doesn't happen in Gaza, but they're actually getting support where they're actually killing. It's actually the Gazans, the Palestinians, doing the damage over there, not Israel doing it to them. The Nigerians are actually murdering thousands of Christians.
And you know, I wonder if there's anything that would, um, I wonder if there's anything that would bring that to light more than him saying, "I'm cutting all the funding."
Right.
Because if he got up and said, there's a bunch of people killing Christians in this country, and we need to stand against it," it would be crickets. But now he's saying we're taking the money away from them, and so wait a minute, that's their right to kill Christians,
Right.
and the
Oh,
left is
yeah,
going to come out against
exactly.
that one too, probably.
Um, okay, let's get into kind of some of the stuff that you've got going on. Now that we've covered a wide array of things, but we
We've chased big hairy rabbits with fangs a couple of times.
that's okay. That's where
That's
um
what we specialize in.
yeah, but
You don't invite me here to talk about a specific topic.
no, but we made the points that I wanted to make today, which was you need to be aware of Islam.
Hmm.
You made the point that I always am willing to make that white women are the most dangerous voting bloc.
White liberal women.
Even some that claim to be conservative. Um,
There, listen. Just this last, where was I? Last Friday, it came up again.
uh-huh.
A woman brought it up, and I've heard this for a long time. Ann Coulter wrote a column years ago, 10, 12, 15, maybe more years ago. Everything went downhill when they let women start to vote. Um,
I've
and
got a.
I hear it from women is the thing.
Did you
And
know statistically this show, just so you know,
yeah,
has 52% female listeners and 48% male listeners.
wow.
So
So you got the Riz.
I do have the risk, but being said, some of them have reached out to me and be like, "Oh, I can never vote for a woman, so that because I can't trust her." I mean, that doesn't come from me. Like it's an amazing thing. Anyway, go ahead. What you got?
Well, Bowie County Patriots coming up. Our event to work with Turning Point
Yeah.
hit some snags, man. Devin, the lady coming up from Shreveport, her dad got hurt and she had to take him to the doctor.
Oh man.
That was an ongoing thing. I think he's doing better now. Our representative from Turning Point couldn't make it, so we're rescheduling for the 4th, which is the Thursday after Thanksgiving.
Day after my birthday.
Yeah, I'll be 63 that day.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Um, so we're working on that on the 4th, the 11th. Pat McCoy, the Bowie County election administrator, is coming in.
Okay.
Everybody's got questions about hand counting paper ballots, what's corrupt, what's not. That'll be an interesting conversation. The 18th, I haven't received a text back yet about the guest for the 18th. That's still up in the air. Let's see what else we have coming up. And I tell you what, Nate Sheets is coming on the 22nd of January. He's a candidate for Texas Ag Commissioner, and I'm seeing a lot of support for him.
Okay.
So my territory for the John Birch Society is all of Louisiana, which is 65,000 square miles,
Right.
and a small part of Texas, which
Right.
is 60,000 square miles.
Right.
So it's not that small. Um, I hear a lot of support for him. I don't think I've heard minimal support for Sid Miller, who he's running against.
Which I
So
thought
and
we
Sid's
liked
done
Sid
this
Miller.
well. I thought we did too, but we probably weren't paying attention.
Maybe so.
How did we measure our affection or our enthusiasm?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure.
You know, he hadn't gotten arrested, maybe. I don't know. Um,
I'm okay
I've
with people that have been arrested. Depends on
depends
what.
on what, yeah, yeah. Um, some of the J6ers, sure.
Yeah.
Our friend Larry Brock is running for HD 106.
Or
He was a J6er. He didn't get pardoned. Actually, he got one offered to him, but he didn't take it because he had the charges dropped. He spent a year in jail. A year in
'cause he's
jail,
like, no.
53 weeks in jail, and half of it solitary. And they dropped the charges.
Right.
Pre 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 Pre-trial confinement, what they call that.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Seems
and
like
they
there's
did
an
it with a
amendment that
lot
doesn't
of
allow that somewhere.
yeah, solitary confinement.
Yeah.
But anyway, and he came out. He's a good guy. Go back and look at his stuff from high school and things. He's been one of us,
Right.
a leader of us, for all his life. Served in
Okay.
the military, flew A-10 Warthogs.
Cool.
Yeah, cool guy, really neat guy, and he's running for state rep up in, like I said, HD 106. That's in Frisco area.
Okay.
Doesn't help us. He's been here and spoken. We liked it.
Large.
Hmm?
Intrusive thought.
Okay. Good job. And right when I'm looking at this, if you go to BowieCountyPatriots.org, you can see our, it talks about us, and you can, there's a link where you can follow us on Facebook. We need to add Instagram too for the young people, I guess. Maybe the Twitters. On the, if you pull it up on your phone, the first thing you see is our upcoming events. If you look at it on the website, it's on the left. The about us is in the middle. On the right, it says follow us on Facebook, and we meet at Big Jake's Barbecue, and that popped up as an ad, I guess,
Okay.
on Facebook, and it says pre-order your Thanksgiving feast. It shows ham and turkey. Um, I've never had a deep fried turkey. I bet you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're cool. Um,
They're
it,
good if you
it,
do
it-
them right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I've never
Also,
had
here's a
one
good
that
way to burn
my
down the
family
whole
didn't
neighborhood.
cook.
Really?
Yeah, we've always done
Yeah. When I was a little kid, my mom was working. We went to Bryce's a lot, Thanksgiving and Christmas even.
them.
So
Yeah. Side note: don't deep fry your turkey inside.
yeah, that's like
That's
how to
an
burn down your
issue.
house.
Yeah.
One, buy a deep fryer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all that.
So Big Jake's, they host Bowie County Patriots. We've been meeting at that exact same location since 2009. Now it started off as Smoky Joe's, and
Big Jake's
then
acquired it.
I'm sorry,
Then Big
Big
Jake's
Jake's
acquired
acquired it. Yeah, and the renovation, which took a couple of months, happened during COVID. So we I think we were out for around 2 months. There
it.
was
Okay.
just no place to meet. We met at Burger King up on the interstate in Leary, I think.
Uh,
We met there a few times. We had meetings there that we had 30 people sitting around
Burger
tables
King
at Burger
probably say
King,
like,
and Burger King is like, man, Thursdays are awesome now. But yeah, Big Jake's Barbecue has been really good to us. Um, I'm not going to go into it any further because some people don't like us, think we're bad people, and now they'll take it out on Big Jake's. Stupid because it's barbecue. Um, and as I drive around Texas, patriots want to eat at barbecue joints and Mexican restaurants. That's where they want to go.
I have a rule about barbecue in Mexican.
It's okay. What?
I don't know if you know this. I don't eat barbecue if I'm not in Texas or Memphis
Hmm.
because I can't trust it. And I don't eat Mexican food if I'm not in Texas.
I'm trying to think if I've eaten Mexican food at all as I've traveled around Louisiana. Louisiana has Louisiana food.
Yeah, and I like
Yeah,
Louisiana food. And you can't
and
trust everybody. Now, if you're on the southeast part of Texas, you can trust their Louisiana food.
yeah, the influence is solid.
And even here, we've got some decent
Yeah,
Louisiana food.
I mean, every time I go to Shreveport, I was at a meeting. I go to a Tuesday afternoon lunch meeting. It starts at like 1:30,
Yeah.
and then I go to another meeting when I'm down there. I go to another one that evening, and um, that second meeting, I doze off pretty often because it's just been 3 hours since I
Yeah.
had lunch,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting there, I'm way too still. And lady goes, "Do you need to be tested?" I go, "No, I mean, yeah, you saw what I ate a while ago. You
Right.
were at that one too." Um,
That's right.
in fact, so Devin Strange, that's a young lady that's going to come here for the meeting, hopefully on the 4th. I think we're clear for that. I think we planned it right. Um,
Let's see if we can get her in here.
that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can wear the baby kangaroo, and
Yeah.
yeah. So I was at a meeting and I was about to doze off, and I said she was next to me.
Yeah.
I forget why she was there. Um, she was sitting next to me, and I said, "Hey, let me hold the kangaroo. I'm about to fall asleep."
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I got the kangaroo, and that's twice. I did it twice.
Right.
2 separate times, and one time the kangaroo just kept stretching. Every time it stretched, it stretched out further. She's getting pictures of the whole thing. Every time it stretched and stopped, she'd get a picture. It's like spread out across
Right.
5 feet. I'm in the end of the pew, and it's like legs sticking out into the aisle, and
Right.
and his head's laying across her, and
Cool.
yeah, the second time I did that, he just pooped a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched her change its diaper one time.
Did you really?
That's how it works. Anyway, we've gone too far. What else you got?
I'm trying to think what else we do have. Mays Middleton is going to be here. He's running for Attorney General against
Okay.
Ken Paxton against whoever. Ken Paxton is running for U.S.
Yeah.
Senate, so it leaves that office open. Mays Middleton is going to be here. He's supposedly one of the better candidates, and that's going to be on the 6th. That is Saturday the 6th at Lost Pizza. That's behind Target. I don't know the time and date. I was trying to find it on his website. I didn't find the link easily, so I just skipped it. So he's coming. I'm trying to think who else we've talked to. There's some local races that we've talked to people about
Right.
coming and speaking. And none of those are ironed out yet, and I'll wait till we know for sure on those.
Yeah.
But just keep going to BowieCountyPatriots.org, and the first thing that pops up on your phone is the upcoming events. So we're not meeting this Thursday. It's Thanksgiving. Devin Strange is coming up after that. Pat McCoy. Um, anyway, we always have good guests.
We have good guests. We have a good crowd.
Yeah.
We don't all think the same way exactly, but we can flush out our differences,
Yeah.
and that's how you keep ideas fresh, and that's how you learn to be able to counter other ideas, is by working on your
Yeah.
own ideas.
And we've had some people in there that we might not agree with much. We had Armando Valentino,
Yeah.
not Armando, Romani Valentino.
Yeah.
We had him come there, and he's for a while. And we don't agree with most of his positions, but he's a good guy. He really works for the betterment of his area, the
Right.
community. I ran into his mom at Office Depot the day. We're both looking at each other like, "Know
You
you."
know.
Um, so we've had some people in like Katrina Pearson. She
Yeah.
doesn't represent this area. She's in the state house, but she was Trump's campaign spokesperson for the
Right.
very first time. She came in 2 days after he was reelected. That was really cool.
Yeah.
That was a packed room. We had um, um, man, I'm drawing a blank. What's the lady's name that it was the hairstylist that got arrested?
Oh, from Dallas.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of her name.
weird.
But we have good guests.
Yeah, and she doesn't represent our area. I ran into her at an event,
Yeah.
and I said, "Man, I'd love to have you come talk to the Patriots, but we're not in your district." She goes, "Can you come back to the primary?" I said, we did. We did.
Yeah.
And she came and talked to us. Man, what is her name? Tim is her husband. Shelley Luther.
Shelley
Shelley
Luther.
Luther. Yeah, she came and spoke. Her husband came with her. They're really neat people. If I see her, she's always really cheerful and engaging. If I
Right.
see him, if I see them both, I usually talk to him because he's fun too.
Right.
I talked to Angela Paxton recently.
Oh yeah, you said
She's a
that.
state senator from up in Allen is where I ran into. I
Uh-huh.
went to her office in Allen, and she doesn't represent us, but she was really interesting, really cool lady.
Well, it's good to
And
meet these people
I
so we
said,
have a good feeling for what's going on.
would you want to come? It's from where she was. It was 175 miles.
Right.
Well, not even that. It's not that far away.
Right.
I told her, I said, we'll cover your expenses. We'll feed you. And so we didn't iron anything out. There's still something to do. So we get really interesting people come speak to our group
Yeah. So if y'all have a chance, show up any Thursday except for Thanksgiving
and Christmas.
and Christmas at
They haven't decided about New Year's yet.
no 6 p.m. Big Jake's in Nash.
Yeah,
And,
come early and eat.
yeah.
I used to all show up at 5, and now we're all showing up at 4:30.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, but I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Like
It's like,
fellowship.
why put off eating barbecue?
Well, all right, Steve. Let's get out of here. Thank you all for listening, and we'll be back and do it again tomorrow.
Get all the latest updates. Make sure you like and subscribe.